Hello friends, my name is Masood. Today we shall discuss our topic that what is cloud computing. Friend, today's topic is very interesting, especially if you have interest in cloud management or cloud computing software. So this is a very interesting topic for you. So let's start, friend. First of all, I will request to please subscribe to my YouTube channel and click on the bell option as well, so that my new videos can reach to you, and also you can follow me on the Facebook page and Instagram as well. So let's start, friend. What is cloud computing? Cloud computing in simple term is the delivery of on-demand computing services from application to storage and processing power, typically over the internet and on a pay-as-you-go basis. So how does cloud computing work? Rather than owning their own computing infrastructure or data centers, companies can rent access to anything from applications to storage from a cloud service provider actually. Now, on one benefit of using cloud computing services is that the firms can avoid the upfront cost and complexity of owning and maintaining their own IT infrastructure, and instead simply pay for what they use when they use. In turn, providers of cloud computing services can benefit from significant economies of scale by delivering the same services to a wide range of customers. Now, what cloud computing services are available? Cloud computing services cover a vast range of options now, from the basics of storage, networking and processing power through to natural language processing and artificial intelligence, as well as standard office applications. Pretty much any service that doesn't require you to be physically close to the computer hardware that you are using can now be delivered via the cloud, even quantum computing. What are examples of cloud computing? Cloud computing underpins a vast number of services that includes consumer services like Gmail or the cloud backup of the photos on your smartphone, through to the services that allow large enterprises to host all their data and run all of their applications in the cloud. For example, Netflix relies on cloud computing services to run its video streaming service and other business systems. Cloud computing is becoming the default option for many apps. Software vendors are increasingly offering their applications as a service over the internet rather than a standalone products, as they try to switch to a subscription model. However, there are potential downsides to cloud computing, in that it can also introduce new costs and new risk for companies using it. Why is it called cloud computing? Friend, a fundamental concept behind cloud computing is that the location of the service and many of the details, such as the hardware, operating system on which it is running, are largely irrelevant to the user. It's with this in mind that the metaphor of the cloud was borrowed from old telecom network, in which the public telephone network and later the internet was often represented as a cloud to denote that the location didn't matter. It was just a cloud of a stuff. This is an oversimplification, of course. For many customers, location of their services and data remains a key issue. What are the core elements of cloud computing? Cloud computing can be broken down into a number of different constituent elements, focusing on different parts of the technology stack and different use cases. So, one by one we shall discuss. What is infrastructure as a service? Infrastructure as a service, IaaS, refers to the fundamental building blocks of computing that can be rented: physical or virtual servers, storage and networking. This is attractive to companies that want to build applications from the very ground up and want to control nearly all the elements themselves, but it does require firms to have the technical skills to be able to services at that level. Now, what is platform as a service? Platform as a service is a PaaS, is the next layer up, as well as the underlying storage, networking and virtual servers. This layer also includes the tools and software that developers need to build applications on top, which could include middleware, database management, operating system, and development tools. Software as a service. Software as a service (SaaS) is the delivery of applications as a service, probably the version of cloud computing that most people are used to on a day-to-day basis. The underlying hardware and operating system is irrelevant to the end user who will access the service via a web browser or app. It is often bought on per seat or per user basis. SaaS is the largest cloud chunk of cloud spending simply because the variety of applications delivered via SaaS is huge, from CRMs such as Salesforce through to Microsoft Office 365, and while the whole market is growing at a furious rate, it is the IaaS and PaaS segments that have consistently grown at much faster rate according to analysis IDC. This highlights the increasing reliance on enterprise on a cloud foundation built on cloud infrastructure, software defined data, compute and governance solutions as a service, and cloud applications. Now, what is multi-cloud computing? While the big cloud vendors would be very happy to provide all the computing needs of their enterprise customers, increasingly businesses are looking to spread the load across a number of suppliers. All of this has lead to the rise of multi-cloud. Part of this approach is to avoid being locked into just one vendor, which can lead to the sort of high cost and inflexibility that the cloud is often claimed to avoid, and part of it is to find the best mix of technologies across the industry. This means being able to connect and integrate cloud services from multiple vendors is going to be a new and increasing challenge for businesses. Problems here include skills shortages, a lack of workers with expertise across multiple clouds, and workflow differences between cloud environments. Customer will also want to manage all their different cloud infrastructure from one place, make it easy to build applications and services and then move them, and ensure that security tools can work across multiple clouds, none of which is especially easy right now. What are the benefits of cloud computing? The exact benefits will vary according to the type of cloud service being used, but fundamentally, using cloud services means companies not having to buy or maintain their own computing infrastructure, no more buying servers, updating applications or operating systems, or decommissioning or disposing of hardware or software when it is out of date, as it is all taken care of by the supplier. For commodity applications such as email, it can make sense to switch to a cloud provider rather than rely on in-house skills. A company that specializes in running and securing these services is likely to have better skills and more experienced staff than a small business could afford to hire. So cloud services may be able to deliver a more secure and efficient service to end user. Using cloud services means companies can move faster on projects and test out concepts without lengthy procurement and big upfront cost, because firms only pay for the resources they consume. This concept of business agility is often mentioned by cloud advocates as a key benefit. The ability to spin up new services without the time and effort associated with traditional IT procurement should mean that it is easier to get going with new applications faster. And if a new application turns out to be widely popular, the elastic nature of the cloud means it is easier to scale it up fast. For a company with an application that has big peaks in usage, such as one that it is used at a particular time of the week or year, it might make financial sense to have it hosted in the cloud. rather than have dedicated hardware and software laying idle for much of the time. Moving to a cloud hosting applications for services like email or CRM could remove a burden on internal IT staff, and if such applications don't generate much competitive advantage, there will be little other impact. Moving to a services model also moves spending from capital expenditure to operational expenditure, which may be useful for some companies. So friend, thank you, thanks a lot for watching the video. I hope you like this video. If you like it, please share it with the friends and colleagues, and thanks a lot for watching the video. Thank you, friends.